The bridge is back. She's alive?
I brought her back to Port Charles.
Jason promised me he wasn't gonna say anything. If you find out something about—
The air in Port Charles is thick with a chilling mixture of desperation and menace. Just as one family celebrates a long-awaited reunion, another is teetering on the brink of utter ruin. The week of October 13th to 17th is set to be a turning point for countless lives in our beloved city, as past sins cast long shadows and a terrifying new threat takes up residence. At the center of the storm, as always, is Carly Spencer, who finds her hard-won stability crumbling brick by brick. Meanwhile, the specter of Jason Morgan's return continues to send shockwaves through the entire community, but none more so than for John Jagger Cates, whose cold case is about to become dangerously, undeniably hot. A mother's panic, Carly's empire of secrets begins to crumble. Carly Spencer has built her life on a foundation of fierce loyalty and ferociously guarded secrets. But what happens when those two pillars collide? This week, they do so with the force of a wrecking ball. Carly's world, which she has painstakingly rebuilt alongside Drew, is about to be shaken to its core, and the tremors are coming from every direction. The primary source of her escalating panic is, of course, the reemergence of Jason Morgan. Her belief that he is alive has morphed from a desperate hope into a tangible, terrifying reality. But with that reality comes an avalanche of complications. Jagger Cates is not some rookie PCPD officer who can be easily misled. He's a seasoned federal agent with a personal vendetta and a sharp intellect. Every question he asks, every file he pulls, feels like a direct threat. Carly's spoiler for Monday reveals her in a frantic, hushed conversation with Drew, her eyes wide with fear. He knows something, Drew. I can see it in his eyes. Jagger isn't just following a hunch, he's connecting dots, and every single one of them leads back to Jason. Her panic isn't just about protecting Jason's secret. It's about protecting the entire ecosystem of people that secret encompasses. She knows that if Jason's survival and his connection to John Jr.'s death come to light, it won't just mean prison for Jason. It could implicate everyone who helped him, destroy her family, and shatter the fragile peace they've all clung to. By Tuesday, her attempts to steer Jagger off the scent are becoming increasingly transparent and desperate. She makes a risky move, trying to plant a false lead about a potential sighting of a Jason lookalike in Canada, but Jagger sees right through it, only deepening his suspicion. But Jason isn't her only problem. The tension with her son, Michael, over the custody of baby Avery has reached a boiling point. Michael's alliance with Nina has created a rift that feels more like a canyon, and Carly's spoiler for Wednesday shows her in a blistering confrontation with her son at the Metro Court. You are aligning with the woman who tried to destroy this family, all for a business deal? She will shout, her voice cracking with a mixture of fury and heartbreak. Michael's cold, logical retorts about what's best for Avery and Corintha's communications only fuel her sense of isolation. She feels she is losing her son, and in her mind, Nina is the puppeteer pulling the strings. By Thursday, Carly is a pressure cooker of anxiety, jumping at every phone call and every knock at the door. Drew does his best to be her anchor, but even he is starting to feel the strain of her single-minded obsession. A spoiler for the end of the week hints at a moment of sheer, unadulterated terror for Carly. She receives an anonymous, untraceable message containing a single, grainy photo of Jason from the docks the night he reappeared. The message is clear. Someone else knows he's alive, and that someone is not a friend. This sends her into a full-blown panic attack, realizing the web of secrecy is far wider and more dangerous than she ever imagined. Her world is closing in, and her next move could be her last. The hunter becomes the neighbor? Ronnie's chilling infiltration. If Carly's panic is the fire, then the arrival of Ronnie is the gasoline waiting to be poured. This enigmatic and ruthless figure, whose motives are still shrouded in mystery, is about to make Port Charles his new home in the most unsettling way possible. Early in the week, we see Ronnie conducting his own reconnaissance. He's not just a brute, he's calculating. He's seen observing key locations and players from a distance, learning their routines. His target appears to be not just Jason, but the entire network around him. A major spoiler for Tuesday reveals that Ronnie makes a move that sends a clear message. He's here for the long haul. He secures a residence, and the location is deliberately, terrifyingly strategic. While the exact address is kept under wraps, strong hints point to him moving into the same building as Sam McCall or even a vacant apartment near the Quartermain estate, places where he can keep a close eye on those connected to Jason. This isn't a random choice, it's a tactical invasion. He's moving in quite literally on their lives. By Wednesday, Dante and Sam, who are continuing their own investigation into the mysterious mercenary, get their first solid lead. A contact at the PCPD runs the sketch of Ronnie through a database and gets a hit, but the file is heavily redacted, marked with high-level clearances that scream Black Ops or off-the-books contractor. The name Ronnie is an alias, and his real identity is a ghost. The most chilling moment of the week, according to a spoiler for Thursday, involves a near miss for Christina. While leaving Charlie's pub, she drops her keys. A man, Ronnie, stoops to pick them up for her. He is polite, even charming, but his eyes are cold and assessing. He hands her the keys, his gaze lingering just a moment too long before he smiles and walks away. Christina is left with an inexplicable sense of dread, a feeling that she's just shaken hands with a predator. This scene is a masterclass in tension, proving that the greatest threat isn't always a dramatic confrontation, but the quiet, unnerving presence of evil settling in next door. Jagger Cates. The past is not dead. For Jagger Cates, the return to Port Charles was supposed to be about closure. But the more he digs, the more he realizes he's opened a Pandora's box. His investigation into his brother's decades-old death is gaining momentum, and all evidence is beginning to point toward one inescapable conclusion. Jason Morgan is alive. His interactions with Carly have only solidified his suspicions. Her defensiveness is a telltale sign. On Monday, he sits down with Anna Devane, hoping to appeal to her sense of justice. He lays out his theory, connecting the recent mysterious activities at the docks, the strange behavior of Carly and Drew, and the inconsistencies in the old case file. Anna, torn between her duty and her complicated history with Jason and the people who love him, is a reluctant audience. She advises caution, warning him that stirring up the past could have violent, unintended consequences in the present. But Jagger is undeterred. A spoiler for Wednesday reveals a breakthrough. He tracks down a former warehouse worker who was coerced into silence years ago. This man, now old and ailing, is finally ready to talk, and his testimony could provide the first concrete evidence that the official story of the warehouse fight was a cover-up. This new lead puts Jagger on a direct collision course not only with Jason, but with the entire Corinthos organization. He is no longer just investigating a cold case. He is actively dismantling a decades-old conspiracy. While the central thriller unfolds, the rest of Port Charles is buzzing with its own drama. The Quartermain joy. At the Quartermain mansion, the mood is jubilant as Lois Cirillo is officially back in town. The family throws a welcome home party, filled with the classic Quartermain blend of love, laughter, and thinly veiled barbs. Tracy is, predictably, less than thrilled, seeing Lois as a threat to her dynamic with Ned, aka Eddie. The week will see several heartfelt moments between Lois and Brooklyn, as well as some wonderfully comedic scenes as Eddie tries to serenade his long-lost love with a new, utterly ridiculous song. Ava's agony. Ava Jerome is struggling to keep her composure. The news of Jason's potential return has sent her into a tailspin, forcing her to relive the trauma of her past. She turns to Sonny for support, but their conversation is fraught with unspoken history and shared guilt. A spoiler hints that Ava may make a dangerous decision, perhaps reaching out to a contact from her underworld past to get information on Ronnie or to preemptively protect herself, a move that could backfire spectacularly. Sonny's dilemma. Sonny Corinthos is caught between his past and his present. The possibility of Jason being alive is all-consuming, but he also feels a duty to protect Ava from the ghosts that are resurfacing. His scenes this week showcase Maurice Benard's incredible range as Sonny wrestles with his loyalty to Jason, his protective feelings for Ava, and his need to keep his empire stable in the face of this new, unknown threat in Ronnie. Sprina's struggle. Spencer and Trina continue to navigate their complicated relationship. Spencer's determination to prove himself worthy of Trina leads him to make a grand, perhaps ill-advised, gesture. Meanwhile, Trina is focused on her future and her art, and she makes it clear to Spencer that while she cares for him, she needs a partner, not a project. Their scenes are a poignant mix of young love and hard-won maturity. The week of October 13th to 17th promises to be one of the most consequential of the year. With Carly's panic reaching a fever pitch, Ronnie embedding himself into the very fabric of the city, and Jagger closing in on a truth that could destroy countless lives, Port Charles is a powder keg waiting for a spark. Strap in, fans, the explosion is coming, and no one will be safe from the fallout. General Hospital, GH, spoilers hint that Justine Turner, Nazanin contractor, made a huge address error when it came to that search warrant for the Quartermain mansion. So was the mistake intentional? Could the ADA be Drew Kane's, Cameron Matheson's shooter? When Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, realized the gun used in Drew's shooting was Edward Quartermain's, John Ingle, she moved fast to organize a search warrant for the Q mansion. With the help of ADA Turner, Anna received the documentation and headed straight to the estate to search the premises with Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, by her side. Their momentum was cut short when Veronica Ronnie Bard, Erica Slazak, the home's new owner, realized the address on the search warrant was the wrong one. The Quartermain home's address is 66 Harbor View Road. However, the documents had 65 Harbor View Road on them. Turner was the one who filed the search warrant documents, and fans saw her at the boxing gym clarify the 65 number versus the 66 with a sly smile while she did it. In the aftermath of the error, Anna was confused by the mistake while at the PCPD, while complaining about it to Chase. After all, ADA Turner has always been thorough with everything she's done at work in the past. It was very out of character for the lawyer. Still, GH fans should not pass over the idea that Turner could be a suspect in Drew's shooting and is still jaded by what she caught the congressman telling Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, weeks back. Turner was visiting the mob boss when Drew came stomping to his door, threatening him. While Turner was secretly in another room, Drew tried to blackmail Sonny into handing over his waterfront property and threatened to arrest Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, for assault after his nephew punched him. Sonny didn't waver to Drew's blackmail, but Turner definitely saw a different side to Drew after the fact and vowed she'd nab the congressman at some point. It's hard to tell if Turner will last the long haul on canvas. She has sparks with Sonny, and the fact that she's part of the Port Charles District Attorney's office and he's a mob boss makes an interesting love story. The two were hostile towards each other months ago, but have since become flirty friends. Mix in the fact that Donna Corinthos, Scarlet Spears, likes Turner, and these two could have a solid romance. With that said, the chemistry between Sonny and Turner could be a distraction, and General Hospital is infamous for changing character personalities at the drop of a hat. No one would expect Turner to be Drew's shooter, as the ADA is typically portrayed as a law-abiding individual and a clean-cut figure. But what a plot twist it would be if she ended up being Drew's shooter, driven by pure revenge and a desire to see the bad guys go down. Then again, what if she's secretly working with Jen Sidwell, Carlo Rhoda, and the error of the address was a way to help him? Maybe Turner isn't Drew's shooter, but helping out the person who is. General Hospital spoilers note that the culprit of any soapy whodunit is always the character viewers least expect, so ADA Turner certainly fits the bill in that regard, right? Check out CDL regularly for the hottest General Hospital spoilers, updates, and news around. General Hospital, GH, spoilers and updates for Friday, October 10th, hint at some interesting moments as Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, blackmails Jordan Ashford, Tunish Harper, while Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, gets closer to Veronica Ronnie Bard, Erica Slazak. In fact, he'll open up to his grandmother's sister on Friday's show, so he may end up telling her a little bit more about his issues with his uncle Drew, his marriage falling apart, and how hard his road to recovery was after the firebombing accident. During a preview clip for today's show, Michael is shown telling Curtis Ashford, Donnell Turner, at the Aurora Media offices how Monica Quartermain, Leslie Charleson, brought Ronnie into their lives at just the right time, so Michael is definitely a fan of Ronnie's. Still, Someone who is not a fan is Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott, and she'll continue to clash with Ronnie during the October 10th episode. In the GH preview for Friday, Tracy will lash out at Ronnie in the Q Mansion kitchen as she believes Ronnie is scamming the Quartermaines. Still, is Tracy right about Ronnie, or just jealous of the woman? Across town, General Hospital spoilers note that Lulu Spencer's Alexis Havens Bruning motives will be questioned by Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard. While Lulu and Sonny are friends after all, she is the daughter of one of his best friends, Luke Spencer, Anthony Geary, and the mother of one of his grandchildren, Rocco Falconeri, Finn Carr. However, Sonny will wonder why Lulu is burying Michael in the press. It is odd, considering Michael is Carly Spencer's, Laura Wright, son, and Carly is Lulu's cousin. So, what is Lulu up to? Meanwhile, Carly's brother, Lucas Jones Van Hansis, will play matchmaker. This is an unusual role for the Doctor, so it'll be interesting to see what he's up to and why.